like because it's live, it's a little bit different. So
All right, we're live
like
now.
60, but we'll get to 400 views.
Solid number.
Hey guys, welcome to the stream. We'll be starting in a couple minutes. We got Trent in the house. I'm gonna post all the links to all the groups.
Yeah.
Usually, like because it's live, it's a little bit different. So
All right, we're live now.
60, but we'll get to 400 views.
It's a good number, man. You guys are doing. I'm impressed. You guys are doing good.
So bad. We try. You like this hat?
I do.
Nice, right?
It is. Got the old Cooperstown B on that. I like that.
Right, man. It's certainly not correct for the side patch though.
What year is that patch?
I think it's 61.
Yeah. Gotta do your research, man. I never wanted to get called out.
We got a good question, Trent. What do you
I
want?
never wanted to get called out. The headwear community will call you out in a heartbeat.
Oh, they'll fact check you for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, frankly, I don't care as much, man. If the hat looks good, I'm okay, man. I do want some stuff to be accurate, but if this hat looks good to me, I'm like, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Trent. What are you wearing? People already want to know. What's on your head?
Mitchell and Ness All-Star Collection for the 2019. I got it actually customized. I don't know which side the patches on. Patches on this side. Patches was done in our pop-up down in Chicago, and then the Harwood Classic patch on the other side. So I just sure love Mitchell and Ness today. I'm, like I said, I'm a headwear guy. As long as it fits, I'm rocking it.
Right, man.
All right, we're ready. Got 22 people. Want to start this, Peter?
Yeah, let's get it started, man. Trent's ready to go, man.
All
right, I am.
Welcome to the stream, guys. It's your homie Leon. We have our co-hosts Pierre and Jason Mead. Today we have a very special episode, episode 10 of Views from the Vault. We got Trent Boyd of Lids fame coming to join us to talk about, headwear. So Pierre's going to take him under the cap, and let's learn a little bit about Trent today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so what's up, Trent?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I know you have a little tequila in you, so I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try not to ask you anything that can get any of us in trouble.
No, Leon, get the censor button ready. Yeah.
You gotta censor Leon, man. Leon's got one of the dirtiest mouths in the business, man.
Listen, we might have to talk a little bit more then.
So Leon's already sporting the Jackie Robinson Toronto Blue Jays cap.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We had fun with that one. That patch was, in our opinion, was never really utilized from a headwear perspective. You've seen it on the jerseys quite a bit, and we were just trying to figure out. And shout out to Tony Griffin, one of the designers at New Era, wanted to add some extra touch with the Thank You Jesse, and then the 42 in the corner. So I'm sorry, Thank You Jackie, my fault. Thank You Jackie. And we just wanted to show some homage to it, and it just came out really good and clean.
Yeah. Listen, Trent, before I ask you a little bit about yourself, I want to know, when are we going to see something with Roberto Clemente?
You know what? We had the same conversation. And I
talked about this before, right?
We did. We were working on it. COVID came through and shut it down. Production is so far out. We just can't get anything in time for it. We did a lot of research on the patch. We tried to figure out what was the best one. There was a couple of them out there. One where he's tipping his cap, kind of the bridge behind the background. Yeah. One with his actual number. And we were ready to knock it out. And COVID came through and wiped that concept out. But we were going to drop it because I think 19th of September, sometime in September is actually Roberto Clemente Day. That's when we were going to drop it. So unfortunately, if somebody else has got it coming through, on the lid side, we'll probably have it in 21.
The only Roberto Clemente hats you can find, right, are like Baseballism.
Yeah.
And then like the Capture the Flag that was released a while back that you would have to pay like $500 for now.
Yeah. We were digging deep. The Roberto Clemente was by far the most similar to Jackie Robinson Day. So we were going to bring that one out. We have heard the demand for it, and that was going to be something special. It was going to be very small. Believe it or not, Jackie really wasn't that big of a buy. We hit it in all 30 teams, obviously.
Yeah.
But
we know that, Trent.
Yeah, I know you got them all. So we were going to do the same thing for Roberto, and then when everything went black with COVID and the store shut down, production shut down, and we weren't able to get it up and running. But
to me, Jackie's it, right? But Roberto Clemente did so much for the Puerto Rican people, and was just such a stellar athlete, and just someone who I believe is undervalued in terms of what he offered his community, along with the game of baseball. Because this guy was also a tremendous player. Yeah,
we were debating whether it was going to be in Puerto Rican colors, to be honest with you. And it was fresh out of having the success from Jackie and having those colorways and the team color that we from a sale perspective, we wanted to keep it organically in those colorways. But we thought about maybe one special one that was going to go to every single store who got the local market team color in that Puerto Rican colorway as well too. But like I said before, I got shut down. But we'd love to. We with Jackie being obviously right after Black History Month, we wanted to keep it in that time frame with the the 4/15 of his day. And the same thing we want to do with Roberto. But if the cap collectors are out there, wanting it, then if it doesn't need to be associated with September, it might be something we can do a little bit sooner once we get up and running again.
Yeah. So Trent, let's go back. I got a little bit ahead of myself because I was so excited.
That was good. I like that first question. That was good.
I was so excited by Leon's cap, and he's going to probably change that cap 12 times. He's for a big dude. He's got the quickest hands in the business too. He's got a dirty mouth, and he's got the quickest hands in the business. So you're going to learn that about him. But Trent, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I want everyone out there to get to know you better.
Yeah, I've been, most people say they've been in retail. But they don't have the niche into the headwear game. But I've actually been in the headwear game for almost 20 years now. Started in the mom and pop. I'm originally from Virginia. I was designing some hats when the NBA logo man and the pinwheels were hot. So I was cranking those out. And then wanted to get into the bigger scene, and Lids had a store open in Norfolk, Virginia. And I actually went back and was a store manager, just to see if I could work my way through and bet on myself to get up that way. And I met the right people, told them my passion, told my background. And I ended up in the corporate office as the allocation analyst.
Can I ask you a question, Trent?
Yeah.
Real quick. So you said you were working in the stores as a store manager. Were you one of the employees that was able to navigate the buy one, get one and the 20% off?
No, I was, now that I can officially say, I was one of the ones that was able to navigate actually, you know what? I might have done it a couple times now I think about it. I was able to navigate to get you the discount club prior, and then you can use the 20% right afterwards.
So, I'm just kidding, man.
No, hey, listen, nowadays that's like a no-no for sure. So I did that, and then worked my way up through, became a buyer, and then right now currently I'm in product development, which is going to be obviously for some of the lifestyle and fashion headwear you guys see from New Era and Mitchell & Ness, but then also to some in-house brands that we're working on as well. Nice.
So to be clear, I think, listen, Trent, I think my interaction with you, I've been interacting with you for a couple of years now via Instagram.
Yep.
And stuff. I've called you a couple of times, and every time I deal with you, it's like super positive, good energy. But I also know what you're not responsible for. So I think I want to go on the record here and help clear up some misconceptions. So
yes, let's do it. Let's do it, please.
Your role isn't store operations, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
You're not in charge of discounts.
Nope.
Okay. You're not. Nope. Listen. I think everyone understands.
I'm not even in charge of where the headwear goes, to be honest with you. So if there's complaints about why this store didn't get that, it's just. Obviously, we have a plan in place from an allocation standpoint of putting headwear in the best places they're going to sell it. And unfortunately, some malls aren't as good to sell a Red Sox hat versus a Rockies hat or things like that. That's just retail for you.
Yeah, that was probably me complaining because my list.
No, but I
That's
also
all right.
think, but I also
we made up before the show, so we're all good now.
Oh yeah.
so like even the Copa blackouts, right? Like,
Yes.
in all honesty, I know a lot of people love them, and a lot of folks in the hack community were collecting these and like reaching out to people. I think there's a silver lining though. You can't, first of all, the difference between lids, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, Trent, so I can explain this to folks. Fanatics utilizes the lids name online, but that's not truly lids. It's just another storefront virtually for Fanatics.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Fanatics owns several properties.
Right, like MLB, all this stuff.
Yeah, they got MLB, they got NBA, they got some of the clubs. Obviously, they have their own. They own several .coms, and they have lids.com, and we as in the Ames Watson Group owns the lid stores. So,
so
go ahead.
So that's a storefront for Fanatics.
Yeah.
That's not. I know it's misleading because it says lids, but it's just like MLB Shop is another Fanatics storefront, but they don't own the MLB. It's like
no, you hit it right on the head.
So you have that layer there, right? Then you have the brick and mortar stores, which is still lids.
Correct.
And that's what you're associated with.
Yes, I'm associated with brick and mortar. Yep.
Right. Yep. Brick and mortar in terms of the product that gets into brick and mortar.
You got it. Yeah. So to go back to the Copa, our minor league collections very, very rarely lived in stores because of the small markets that they're in, in the stores that are associated with them. So that blackout Copa was posed to be for lids.com. And during the acquisition of when Fanatics got it, that got left off. And it really sat in our distribution center for a while. And then we started to put it into stores that made sense geographically where we could probably sell some of them at, and it just didn't cook. So then we the ones who were lucky to find it in outlets, the ones who were found it in clearance stores, got that gem. And still today, that's one of my favorite collections that I was able to be a part of. And it just didn't hit the light because of the acquisition that happened between the .com and the brick and mortar. So that's the story that came across with that. That really was all about it. But I mean, we at that time minor league was on fire, and like we were ready to shut the game down with that collection, and it just unfortunately didn't happen.
Listen, people were dying.
I want to jump in here and just reiterate to people, and we have a lot of questions about related to the Copas and why they weren't on lids.com and everything. Lids and lids.com are two completely separate entities. They're not connected in any way except they're spelled the same.
No. At the beginning, there was a lot of talk, and we were working with them, and they run it on their own now.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, so we've got that kind of mapped out, and then I want to get into you and the hack game, but I just want to make sure that we kind of cover this, right? So we've got the online component, which is Fanatics, that's utilizing the lids name as a virtual storefront. Then you have the brick and mortar stores, which don't have, now everyone needs to remember this. In retail, usually the glue that keeps retail stores together is an online presence, which lids doesn't have.
Right.
So when you're talking about Copas or the Jackie Robinsons, of course, the staples like New York and LA are going to be most places, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you're not going to get the Milwaukee Brewers in Tampa Bay. It's not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen because it's not good business when you don't have an online presence.
Right. And especially when you talk about fitted sizes at that, like when Snapback heyday, we were putting teams all over the place. And at that point, 6 hats, you only had to satisfy 6 customers. There was no sizing involved into it. So when you get a fitted hat and you get something as hot as the Jackie collection was and everybody wants it, if I put it in the wrong place, excuse me, we're not going to sell it. We're not going to sell it.
No, it's a waste at that point. It's just smart business. But I do understand. But I will say, I think we all, including yourself, would admit like not having the online component makes it a lot more cumbersome. So
no, and we I mean, I would say I miss it because we were able to buy programs that were able to breathe on .com in a smaller way. We was able to build that energy. And everybody across the country were able to get those teams that you just referred to. So, we had to be a little bit more nimble on what we buy now because of that from a brick and mortar standpoint. But, it was fun. I mean, we had a great time. We worked closely with New Era, Mitchell & Ness, 47 to get some of those collections out there. You had an outlet to sell it on .com no matter what. And if it didn't, then you still had outlets and clearance stores and mill stores to sell it to. So, I mean, it's just the way how everything just shook out. And, go ahead.
There is a silver lining to some of this, though. You know what it reminded me of? Watching the Copas, and then when I was in the midst of the Jackie Robinson piece, it was almost like opening a pack of baseball cards.
Right.
And you're like trading with friends, and you're trying to figure it out. So, it's all about, listen, sometimes it's all about perspective, right? How you're looking at something. So this is not necessarily perfect, but there's value in the community it built, the friendships it helps to build. And then also like that sense of really collecting. I had someone tell me they loved it because it was so hard to get a hold of them. So it felt more valuable to them.
Yeah, no, agreed. I mean, that's before we started talking on the show, we were talking about, the difference between the headwear community and the sneaker community. And, obviously we have teams involved, we have colorways involved. There's way more SKUs versus a pair of just Jordans is just one for that Saturday. But you're not going to see people shipping stuff all over the country to try to help somebody out. And that's what that Jackie did. And it wasn't, I don't want to just like hone in on just that Jackie collection. I was the only one that did it. It's been multiple collections before that, and it's still collections that are still going on right now that people are helping each other out. But that's why the headwear community is so special, is that, you guys can allow other people to be involved. You can interact with them. You can understand why they have a passion for that hat. They had it when they was younger. They played baseball in it. It's so different than what sneakers is, in my opinion, and it just makes it even more special that, you have so many choices to choose from. But when you lock in, hone in that special hat that means something to you, you're gonna go above and beyond to go get it. And if somebody else has to do it for you, they're gonna do it for you.
Yeah. So I appreciate that, Trent. So tell me, where do you feel like you're seeing a lot of trends in hats? What are some of your favorite trends you're seeing right now?
I'm always a patch guy, no matter what. So, I mean, I love the fact that patches are being utilized still today. When we did the Ultimate patch collection, our goal was to just give everybody the patch for 1 year that they were able to get. But I like where, obviously Hat Club, Cap City, everybody else is basically coloring up that patch totally different than just the on-field that you used to see on a World Series sleeve or what you would see in a style guide. They're switching it up a little bit. So I'm a big fan of patches. The Undervisors, game, I'm loyal to gray and greens, but I do like the hype that's coming from it. I think it just opened, other eyes to come look into a fitted, the fitted community that they didn't see before. They looked at the pink and then they said, all right, well, what else was out there? And then somebody who just jumped in the game, like, whoa, shit, like the gray is the OG. I need to go get the gray. So I do like the Undervisor game. I do appreciate that. I'm a big fan of Cooperstown. I think the more logos you can do with Cooperstown, the better. So I like the state. I think right now it's probably the healthiest it's been in a long time. And I'm mainly talking about fitted, that it's been the healthiest it's ever been. And I just like that it's not just a one horse show right now. Like Lids is obviously still pumping. Hat Clubs is stepping up their game. ecapcity,
Hat Heaven,
My Fitteds, Hat Heaven. Everybody is basically all in. Even who did the butter brims? Who did the butter?
Sneaker room.
Yeah. So even that, I mean, it's I heard you guys in the conversation about the colors that they chose. I agree. Purple. There should have been a little one before the butter, but I like the innovation that came from it. It wasn't. You gotta give them. Applaud them for definitely stepping out the box.
No, dude, competition's good, Trent.
Yeah, competition is great,
man.
No, competition is great. No, I agree. I listen. If Hat Club didn't do the minors, we wouldn't have probably jumped into minors as heavy as we did. And that was the competition. Like, we just can't let them slide in the game. We gotta own this. So, we love competition. We love everything about it. I salute to everybody in the headwear community for that. And this is good for us. It really is.
What's your favorite hat of all time, Trent?
All time? White Sox on field. This is the classic. I'd say that's my favorite hat of all time.
What made you fall in love with that hat?
When you can only afford one fitted hat when I was young, the black white hat goes with everything. So it was just like the one that I basically wanted to rock. I'm obviously partial to the Rock Nation collab that we did with that. That was, to me, was very special to work on that, to meet some special people at Rock Nation, to work with special people in New Era, and to make that happen was game changing to me. To be a part of that. Fear of God, obviously I'm a huge fan of I actually like the old Pirates colorway. I know the price, the retail on that one was a little steep, but I like that one. It wasn't a fitted, but I even love what Don C was doing with the leathers, the snakes back in the day.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one and I had to ride or die for it, it would definitely been the White Sox Authentic Collection for sure.
Yeah. See, I was young in my young days. I still am a huge hip hop fan, but the White Sox cap was like synonymous with like Eazy-E.
Easy, yeah. It was. I that's all I wore. At that time, I was ordering mine to the catalog on East Bay, and they were $20, and I got multiples of them. And then when I worked through at Legends in Virginia, I did a lot of logo mans and pinwheels that were really crazy. And then I really wish I could remember what the first hat I ever worked on Lids with. I probably should have said that one, but there's been so many that we've done as a group that just been special. What's
the thing about being in the hat business you dislike the most?
Man, that's a great question. I guess I will say the fact that we can't satisfy everybody, in terms of like where the headwears go. So, we would love to put all 30 teams in every store. We just can't do it. That's selfish. That's selfishly saying that we want to just make sure headwear is just represented no matter where you go. But I just think there's an expectation of like, well, you guys are Lids. You should every store should have the same amount of teams and should have all teams and things like that. So that's probably it. But there's not too many things I don't dislike about the headwear. I love it. I wouldn't be doing it for as long as I have if that was the case. But outside of the politics that come along with any job that you do, but just the allocation part of it. I wish we can give everybody the choice of every team if they wanted it.
So before Jason Mead, because Jason Mead's going to have some questions from the audience, right? And then I also still have some more I want to ask you about, but I can see Jason kind of chomping at the bit to ask some questions.
Yeah, there's quite a few things coming up.
Yeah, before that though, Jason, I want to make sure I give Leon a chance. Leon, do you have any questions for Trent that you want to ask?
I think we kind of just went and kind of answered them. I was going to ask him a lot about the undervisors and what he thought about that and some of his favorite collabs.
You switched. I like that. Thank you for
switching. Yeah. You got to keep the top.
I think that's number 4.
I think we're at number 4. But yeah, like I think you took a lot of heat because you were the kind of like the first guy on social media to kind of be a representative of a store.
Yeah.
We do appreciate you for that, but sometimes that comes with a lot of heat the other way. So like,
No, I mean,
stuff's not
for the most part, I think a lot of people appreciated that the headwear was put on the stage like that. And I always grew up with fitteds. No disrespect to snapbacks, but at that time everybody just wanted snapback. I'm like, well, the goat of headwear is fitted. So, we, myself and the Chicago New Era office made I remember January 1st, I was like, I'm going to make fitteds great again. And, I'm glad I did it then versus the controversy that if I had said it now would have probably been a little bit different. But we wanted to make sure that we just wanted to say that fitted didn't go anywhere. The only reason why it was gone is because the trend of a snapback. So we pushed hard. We pushed hard to make that great. And then, I love the fact that everybody stepped their game up in that process.
Yeah, and I got corrected by Ryan. And Ryan, you're right. They did make a mistake in the recent movie about NWA with Easy wearing the White Sox cap. You're absolutely correct. Thanks for fact checking me.
There's a hat wear. That's the hat community for you.
But he did wear White Sox caps. What year did Easy die? So I'm gonna fact check you, Ryan. What year did Easy pass away?
So the most of the controversy came from the fact that he was already wearing it before he was a rapper, and that would have been impossible because that logo didn't exist. But when he was a rapper, he wore a lot of White Sox hats.
Absolutely. Okay. And I think
I don't know what they're arguing about. The movie got it wrong, not whatever, but yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
He did wear a lot as well. So TJ's fact checking in there too. So, so Trent, so I know Jason's got a bunch of questions for you.
Yeah, I do.
Shoot.
First off, let's start with some easy ones. What's that Phillies John behind you? Big John wants to know.
Yeah,
we're using the word John, Trent, just so you're aware. John is
that's a Philly. There's the DC hat change. I like that. No, if you guys don't mind, we can talk about it now.
Yeah.
This is kind of like our, after Jackie, with everything that was going on with COVID, we had, a nice plan in place to have back-to-back drops, and Jackie was going to be the one to start off, and then obviously, showing homage to New Era and their 100th anniversary, we wanted to do something very special. So we did 100th anniversary patch, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but it actually says since 1920, New Era cap that the pros wear, the cap the fans wear, the cap to wear. So that patch has never been put on Headwear before. It's always been in their slogans. It's always been on some apparel, but we wanted to bring it back. The interior is a classic. What we've done, we did the 100th anniversary, and the inside of it, you can see the on the sweatband there. Gold foil that has pretty much all the New Era logos that has been existing in their process, and then on the taping, 100th anniversary as well too. So this was supposed to drop in April. We had a huge campaign.
You were teasing that on your Instagram story.
I did, and I had to shut it down because I didn't know when it was going to release.
And Trent, I was messaging you. I'm like, when the hell am I going to see those?
Yeah, and that's a lot of questions.
Yeah, we hope. We're back. Obviously, we're back up and running. I don't think there's, you've seen the lid stores, and we're back up and running again. And we're in the process of reloading all the stores. So this is like one of the very first collections that when things are back up and running in full steam ahead, this will be hidden stores. We got them in all teams. We did them in Cooperstown collection or Cooperstown logos as well too. So, we wanted to keep it clean. We didn't want to do too crazy. You've seen us before. We pushed the envelope on some things. But we want to keep this one clean. Just the team colorway on that patch, and then I got all of them. Not all of them.
Can you show us the Expos one?
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one that I saw in your story. I believe that I was like, yeah, that
was the one that popped the most. So then we actually, again, shout out to the New Era team, Tony Griffin, Jesse Mercer on our list team. We put this together. The gold is on every one. The taping's on everything. The 100th anniversary as well too.
Is the Batterman on every one, including the Cooperstown ones?
Yeah, it depends on. I mean, obviously this is the Cooperstown Batterman, so a little more boxier there. We got the Yankees one, which is a traditional one as well too.
Yuck.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just to keep it. All right, Leon. There's your Blue Jays, and then boom. There you go. There
all right. I feel better now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. There's a White Sox in there for it too. So yeah, we this was supposed to be a huge campaign. We had a really, really nice story. It was supposed to be, obviously one, you've seen us when we did Blackout. You've seen us when we do Timeline. We go all in on it. This was supposed to be the one. And unfortunately, it's just going to be in stores. It will be in stores, but it just won't have the full campaign that we were hoping to.
Well, Trent, it'll still be the one because that set looks like another one that I'm going to be going after.
Yeah, no, it's great. Wait till you see them all. I'll give you guys the first take of Blue Jays, White Sox, and Red Sox. So be on the lookout for that one.
I'm not a Sox fan. I do.
You're not a Sox fan?
No.
I hope
he's an Easy E fan, Trent. This is Jason Need for Speed, man. This guy can't get enough of 187 the album. This is like that's his thing, man.
Yep.
What's your team in mind? Put it that way.
I don't really have one. I grew up a Braves fan.
Okay.
But
I got Braves.
That's because
when we get done with this, let me know what team. I got about 10 or 12 teams. You can choose from that.
Nice.
That's sweet. So we got some other easy ones we're gonna throw at you. What kind of tequila are you drinking? Michael wants to know that.
I went top shelf today. I went Casa Dragonese. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Okay, and then we already covered that. Kevin Dougal from Team Collective. He wants to know a little bit about the Ultimate Patch Collection.
Yep.
How much research went into it? Like, what patches you chose to use? Did you work with the teams directly, or was that?
That's a great question. We actually went to Cooperstown, and we went white gloves and everything. We went deep in the archives. They showed us everything. They were not going to let us be in there by ourselves. They were supervising us pretty hard. We walked the whole museum, and then we came back with the knowledge of that between the style guide and then Chris Kramer. To be honest with you, Chris Kramer helps out quite a bit as well on that collection. Yep. So we dug deep into that. And then we had a theme every month. The game was the first one. I think I got a poster somewhere around here. Hold on. So the game was the first one. This was the very first. The memory came with the poster and everything. But we wanted to make sure these were all like what we traditionally would see on a game hat, whether it was anniversary or stadium driven. And then from there, we just wanted to spin it totally different. We had a pinstripe. We had all-stars. We actually tried to bring back the actual all-star collection with the signatures. But because that was player related, we couldn't get the rights on that one. We did a lot of research. We went down to Cooperstown and that was a fun experience. It was the first time I was down there for that.
2 questions about that, if I could. Well, first, one's a comment. So really lazy approach, like going to Cooperstown and digging into the museum.
Right. It was been easy to just throw some patches on the hat. But no, that goes to show you, like, not to toot any horns, and that goes to show you like what we do to really authenticate a collection. Because we owe it to the headwear community. We don't want to come up, slipping between one patch doesn't belong on one and things like that. We really want to make sure we are accurate on what we do. So
the second question would be, as it relates to that, is did you stop at Mickey's place?
I did. It was amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
You know what though? Mickey's actually I can't think of the name. Mickey's probably isn't the best one on that strip, by the way, too, though.
Really?
There's some really good collectors, really good stores. Baseballism is actually really cool. I mean, they didn't have the nostalgic that Mickey does, but baseballism on that street is actually really cool.
Yeah.
But no, we stayed the night in Cooperstown, which was exactly what it sounds like. They closed at 10 o'clock and we were in bed by 11. But
it's a little town, man. It's a little town,
but we did some research. We did that, and actually too, that's not the only one we did that for. We actually went down to minor league offices in Tampa. We went into their archives and we dug deep into bringing back the 100th anniversary for minor league. That we found that there at their archives in Tampa in their office. So we've done a lot of research to make sure we can produce the best headwear collection.
My favorite from that minor league one was the Lowell Spinners.
Yes, yeah,
I love that one.
And we had some more in the hopper. We had found some other logos.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we did minor league, we did it with Ebbets Field, and it was supposed to drop on 4th of July because it was made in USA.
Yeah, I have the Vero.
And,
I have the Vero Beach one.
Yep. Yeah. And what happened was is that Ebbets was delayed on the shipment, and then it just got pushed out to like September. It got lost in the weeds on our site, and it didn't get the power that I was hoping it would. But that was our first minor league attempt.
Yeah.
And then like I said, shout out to Hat Club for coming through and doing some in between that. And then we felt like, we had to compete as well too.
Cool. One from Blake, and he may have to explain this question a little bit more in comments, but he wants to know about the retro collection and
yeah,
why it wasn't more historically accurate as far as like, I'm guessing like the Battermans and the material and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. That one I lost some sleep on because we wanted to be as accurate as possible, but obviously things changed rights-wise during the fact that when the Diamond collection actually dropped to where we came back with retro, we actually submitted like 5 or 6 different names. We tried to get Diamond collection and bring that one actually back. That got shut down. I can't remember the 5 in between that, but we settled on retro classic.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the Batters Man currently where it was, and then obviously where Cooperstown is now, we had to accurately do that. The Wolves weren't the same.
Also, like logo sizes, colors.
Yeah, everything. The Wolves weren't the same. Derby wasn't the same.
Yeah.
It was a lot of things to it, and we tried to make it as accurate as possible. And when we first dropped it, it actually failed tremendously. By the way, it was not a big hit out the gate. And shout out to New Era, who actually put some huge marketing dollars behind it to revamp it the second time. And it was the second time that it clicked off. And to be honest with you, because we were dealing with Derby, they can only have a certain amount of capacity in production of what they do.
Yeah.
So it came in waves. So the whole collection didn't deliver at one time. So we had like 15 hats come in at one time, and we had another 15 hats come after that. So it didn't never properly hit all stores the way like we wanted it to. So it was a nightmare at the beginning, and finally when it hit, and finally marketing became like an instant classic, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I hate for it that it had to go away when Derby shut down, but that's the only reason why we stopped producing it, because it went away. But I mean, I can't even imagine how many retro classics we sold. It was a ton. And if anybody really hates on it, then they're not one of the gazillion people who bought it, because it was successful. It was like classic. I still have a ton. It's still today my favorite hat to wear, because it's like a traditional. I don't know, something about being made in U.S. and made out of Derby, and that wool, the blocking on the headwear that they do is amazing, and I still wear it today. And it's like by far, I should have probably said that was probably my favorite collection, but it was something special for sure that we were able to bring that back.
Cool. All right, and then there were a lot of questions about like what's next for lids. Now that the UV stuff is out there, is there going to be any pinks at lids or Dankadelic designer? He wants to know if there's ever going to be like a designer collective coming from lids. Yeah, a lot of questions. Basically, what's next? What's coming up next for lids?
Yeah, the 100th is the first thing behind that. We had some strong Americana plays. But again, COVID kind of shut that down. We hope to have it in stores before the 4th. So we had some really nice ones. We had some really clean patches. We didn't bring any 10th anniversary, retro classic, or I'm sorry, ultimate patch collection or anything when it came down to the Americana collection. But we had some nice customs there. We still have collaborations with Meat still in the hopper. But the 100th is probably the biggest one that's up next, and so we'll probably focus most of our attention on that.
So no pinks.
No pinks.
No pinks. All right. And
can I ask Trent a question about pinks? Do you own a pink?
I don't own a pink. I don't own any no offense to Hat Club. I don't own any Hat Club hats.
Gotcha.
And then one question I think we all want to know is how's Dad Marky doing?
Dad, I had money whether it was going to be a Dad Marquis.
You mean like Vent Wizard now? He's like the Vent Wizard.
He is.
Right?
So listen.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he trust me, it broke his heart to leave the headwear game, but his dad ran the business and he took over the lint drying business, and he took his opportunity to spend more time with his family, spend more time at home, and then follow what his dad built, and he did it, and he's doing good. I saw him a couple weeks ago, to be honest with you. But that was a fun time too, by the way, because I hated dad hats. I really did. And and we made fun out of it that, he was it's Doug. He was the typical dad hat owner.
Oh no, he is. He played.
No, he is.
He's it, man.
Listen, he embraced it. It was amazing. I wish I could tell some stories about like how he became like instant fame, but he embraced every bit of that, and that was a fun time to be a part of, because it was like, no, like we want to bring Fitted back. He was like, I got a lot of dad hats that I'm selling too, so it was pretty cool to be a part of that.
We should try to get him on the show one day.
You should. He would love that. He would love that.
And I'm going to speak for a lot of people on the comments and stuff. Tell Doug that we all miss him. Yeah, and we miss your guys' little banter. I mean, you guys had some classic stuff going back and forth on IG and stuff. So
I wish I don't know if they posted it or not, but like they did like an interview, and he had no idea that it was about him. And Doug actually had 20 years in the game. Doug was almost like day one lids. And we to celebrate his anniversary, we did like this interview, and it came out great. And we just roasted him. It was a big roast, and he deserved every bit of the Dad Marquis fame that he got, and it was a fun time for sure.
Yeah, so a couple of things, right? So first, I want to know, like, I heard you got a podcast.
Yeah,
and you just
got one episode. You just got one episode, but yeah, we got a podcast. Yeah.
And I'm going to be listening to it tomorrow because I didn't even know you had one, but I'm going to post the links in the details. And I'm going to also put it on FHS and Team Fitted. I'm going to throw that out there so people can see this and listen to it, right?
Yep.
I do have to get a Spotify account because I'm an Apple Music guy. So I'm going to have to get a Spotify account. But I'm going to do it for you, Trent, okay?
Thank you.
But tell us about that a little bit. I'd love to hear a little bit about that.
I mean, very similar to what you guys are doing during the pandemic. My co-host Tankia, Cheddar LB, he'll give you the screen name Cheddar, but we decided to we always talked about headwear, and it was organically, and it was great. We just figured we might as well just make a podcast out of it.
Yeah.
We struggled with the names, and we came up with the all caps. It was just fitting that that's what we do. There's no other association, to what we do. We both work for headwear companies.
Yeah.
And we just had a blast with it. We've actually recorded several shows, but we only got one live, and we hope to do some more. But it's just talking very similar to what you guys are doing right now, just more awareness of the headwear community, to know the ins and outs. And I love that you guys do it from the collector's standpoint. And our goal was to do it from the industry standpoint of kind of like how headwear is created and how it's made and the steps that I don't think anybody knew. We go to Cooperstown, and we go to offices and do some research to be a part of that. So we want to share all that information to you guys, and hopefully we can get episode 2 and 3 and more up and running.
I think one thing people really don't understand is how long it takes to design a hat.
Yeah.
Get it produced, get it shipped, and get it into the customer's hands.
Well, get it approved. The hardest
part. Get it approved.
Thank you.
Amen to that. Amen.
You're making a hat. Anyone can make a fucking hat.
Yeah.
There's his mouth. See, Trent? There's his mouth. There's his mouth.
No. That's the passion right
there. That's the truth, though. Right? So many just because you want it.
Right. There were so many hats that just got denied. Like I could tell you so many that would have just been like unbelievable. But that process starts with one sheet, like a sheet of just how it looks. You get pretty much the green light, and then you get all 30 teams from there. From there, each team has to approve it, by the way, at that point. And then you move into what the material is. And then each one of those buckets of what you're doing to the treatment of hat falls into a timeline of how fast you can get it. Us being lids, we can get something fairly quick. But then there's something that, for instance, for an ultimate patch collection, we did a leather patch that took 120 days to 150 days to get done. So, whether it's a sneaker hookup and, you've seen sneaker, timelines changes, or whether, we decided to roll out a Padres hat, they changed colorways the season after. All that is in consideration when you do something in a 120 to 150 day window on product. So, it takes a lot. It really does, to make one hat for 30 teams, or in some cases when you did minor league hats, and how many teams that was and that process. So, a lot, but not everybody can just put a hat out there and get it to you in record time. It takes a lot to do it.
So Trent, one last question I have is, how do you balance being in the hat business and also like having your own? You have a collection of hats yourself, right?
I do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how do you balance that? Like, I mean, that's a lot. Like, you're looking at the business. You're one of the rare ones that's looking at the business from two different directions, right? You're looking at it as a businessman, but also as a collector. So how do you balance all that? So like, you're making a decision, right? And you may like something, but you're like, all right, I don't think this is going to sell to everyone else, but it would certainly sell to me. So how do you balance all that?
It took time, because not everybody wanted an authentic Jackie Robinson collection hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to build that to where the demand of a rare piece like that came from. It was, all right, let's do red and sky blue. Let's do these colorways, and let's get to this, and then let's do the ultimate patch collection, and then let's do a collaboration. So when we got to that point where what we would like to wear actually truly sold, it was easy. But before then, there was a lot of hats that I wouldn't wear that we put together that just at the time and what was trending, we had to do it because that's our job. As
there's also hats you probably saw in hand. You're like, this is going right to fucking clearance.
I wouldn't say that, but but it turned out that way. It turned that way. Yeah, but
which one? Which current hat I think is on its way to clearance?
What's that?
The ones with the cement, the sneaker hookup with the cement Jordans.
No.
The three. You don't
they
think
sell
so?
pretty well. No, they sell pretty well.
Listen,
that's what. To your point, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't wear that one. I wouldn't wear that. But there's that guy that's just you've seen him full head to toe hooked up, and he's out there, wants to know that you got this. If you looked up here on the cement hat and the elephant print, you better look down low because the shoes are gonna match to it. So
yeah, you're right.
There's that guy. I wouldn't wear it. I'm a classic guy. You're a classic guy. Everybody on the screen is a classic guy.
Yeah.
But it took time to get to that because we had to do and during the era, snapback was tough because we had to do what a 15-year-old and what an 18-year-old kid would wear. And then we was like, we're going to migrate to more authenticness. And, I'm glad it's at the point where there's a lot of what I would wear into that process now.
Can I be more specific, Trent?
Yeah.
The Celtics and Boston Red Sox ones are going to go straight to clearance because guys in Boston don't dress like that.
I will say that one. I mean, if you notice, like that's actually probably one of the ones that we did a bigger team assortment. We typically don't do that. We typically only do Bulls.
Yeah.
And that's when you really typically do well with it. But there has been sneaker, traction on some of those. But no, we've had some dogs in the mix. Trust me. There's been some ones that just haven't completely not sold, and they went straight to an outlet store. But you got to have thick skin. You got to move on from it.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
Jason, you have something?
Yeah, no, I guess we can get a little bit into it when we look at the new releases. But people want to know if not lids, where do you get hats at, Trent?
Lids only.
So before we get into the weekend review, I have one more question for you, Trent.
All right, wait, hold on. Let's go back. If it's a collaboration that Liz does not sell, I will go out and get that. So Leaders, when they did the 2020 All-Star, I copped those.
You're better off. Those were good.
Yeah,
What was your favorite of that collection? What was your favorite?
And the one that I did not get was the actual the fitted collection. Not the one with the patch.
Camo?
Did you get the camo one?
I didn't get the camo one. I did not get the camo one. I didn't get the camo one. So, like, obviously, when any collaboration that comes out that I can get, that's where I would go shopping. So I have purchased on ecapcity.com when collaborations come out. I've purchased on other sites that I couldn't get. Kid Cudi was one I couldn't get my hands on. I had to go out and buy that one.
The All-Star Game one?
Yeah, the All-Star Game one.
Yeah, I love that. I love that cap.
Yeah. And obviously I'm fortunate to get blessed from New Era on some hooks. But if I can't, Travis Scott, I bought Travis Scott one. I had to buy that one from New Era Cap as well too. So maybe I should say NewEraCap.com is the only other place that I'll buy it.
So Trent, last question, and then we're going to go into the weekend review. And we love to have your input as we're going through some of these things. It's okay to like a hat that's not a lids hat. So I just want to make sure you know that as we go into it. But I will. Tell me, I'm a patch guy. I love side patches, right?
Yep.
Can you tell us why you guys opt into the stitch-on patch rather than the embroidered patch?
Thank you.
That's a great question. The color pops more on that actual heat seal, the woven patch. It pops more.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
That's the production is easier, right?
The production is a lot easier. The production is way easier. The production is way easier. If you do the detail, like you can get really detailed on that woven patch versus a stitch-on patch. If you look closely on some stitch-ons, there's like just mumbling of what.
When you get too detailed, it gets tough.
Yep, a woven patch will pop more there and give you the detail that you're looking for. Really, the designer or the vendor knows, and it also too how big the order actually is. If it's a significant big order, the factory. It's just easier just to heat seal that patch on versus the embroidery part. So it does play into a little bit of it. We have chose to go woven. Working with great designers like Tony and some of the other guys out there, they know the production and know exactly what could be done with that. So that's really what it comes down to, cost and just how efficient it could be.
Well, Trent, before you transition, I want to thank you so much for coming on with us. This was like almost an hour, and I got to tell you, man, it felt like 20 minutes because of how good the conversation was. I want to thank you for coming on with us, and I'm going to do you a favor. What I'm going to do is anybody who asks me, I'm going to try to give a bulleted list of your job role and your responsibilities, and also another bulleted list of what you don't do.
What I don't do.
Because I want to tell you, man, you are an amazing man in this respect. You are hit from every direction with every goddamn question that has to do with lids, and you still have a smile on your face, and you still do you're such a pleasant guy, man. And
I appreciate it.
And I want to thank you for that. I know how much goes into what you're doing.
Listen, the bottom line is, I get paid to buy hats and create hats. Like it's a dream come true, And so it's like, I can't control what goes in the store. I can't control that. I cannot irradiate that. It's just not happen. But what I can control is that if I can make a awesome hat, that's what we're going to do. So I appreciate you guys for having me, because it's in my opinion long overdue to tell the lid situation and how it transpired. But business is business. I mean, we got to continue to move on. We're going to continue to make good hats, and as long as the cap community is out there to help, spread that word, then that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. Well, Trent, thanks again. Now, Leon's going to take us through the weekend review, and we're going to have you on here while we finish this up.
Let's do it.
Now, Trent, I do understand if you need to walk away because the view of hats other than Lids hats, because you're Lids loyal. If it gets too much and you feel like you feel like you're losing your composure, it's okay if you walk away.
No, I'm about halfway into the cocktail, so I'm actually really good right now. I won't get too far off.
I'm doing the opposite. You're mellowing out. I got a monster here. I'm ready to rev up.
Yeah, I got my coffee.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So this week in caps, we're gonna start off with Hat Club. So they dropped double, I guess, West Coast dropped. So you got the 88 Icy Blue Dodgers, the Navy 50th anniversary Icy Blue Dodgers. I was lucky enough to grab both of them. Pierre, I'm sure you grabbed both of them. What do you think about these ones?
I grabbed both of them, but I think the young lady in the back is looking at Trent and saying, "You better buy a goddamn hat from Hat Club."
So all right, so this is where I'm supposed to give my take. All right, I love the all Navy Angels. I'm a big fan. I love the 50th anniversary patch. Not a big fan of the Icy Blue. I think if that was pink, I would probably think I'd be better at it too. On the Dodgers hat, if that's accurate, I'm not liking that there's no logo man on the back of that. That would be my only negative to that. But that's it. That's all I got. I give it I give both of them thumbs up, put it that way.
Trent, I love Angels caps all of a sudden.
Oh, if you look at the style guide for Angels, the Angels probably has some of the most hats that's ever worn on field.
No, I know. They're incredible logos.
Incredible logos. I agree. Really unbelievable logos. And one of the ones that slept on the most is the Halo one that goes all the way around on the top.
Oh, you're talking about the Sandlot hat.
Yep. That is amazing.
Yeah, and then we had timeline logos drop from Hat Club. So basically, you could see all the different logo iterations from Brooklyn Dodgers to the Dodgers to the Arizona Diamondbacks to all of the Angels ones. These ones very popular, sold out right away.
Yeah.
Pierre did a review on all of his local timeline hats, and I think they're nice. Maybe they got something cooking for maybe some other stuff that are not logos maybe in the future, maybe Hat Club. But all in all, crazy hats. Raised embroidery on most of them all the way around.
Going back to that Dodgers hat on the last page, a lot of people are bringing up there were no Battermans in 1988.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Fact check.
There it is. There's the cap community fact check me already. I like that.
94, I believe.
92?
Somewhere around there.
Early 90s.
Yep. And to be honest with you, that's how you pay that's again how you have to do your homework on that, because if you put it on that one and that. Yeah, I mean, on the timeline, I'm partial to our timeline versus the Hat Club timeline. So I'll leave it like that. Yep. I'll leave it like that.
Is that why you were laughing?
I was. I mean, yeah, we did timeline too. We did it first. Yeah, so we'll leave it like that.
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
I agree. That's all. That's why I didn't go into any deeper than that. I appreciate the respect.
That's right.
Fair enough. And then we had Chamuco's studio dropped his third version of the San Francisco Seals. Very, very big Giants. I think they blessed people with the pre-order for this one.
Yeah.
It is over now, but this was the third version. Pierre, did you grab this one?
I posted on my Instagram today. I love that goddamn seal.
It's a great logo. I like the
man.
Yep, I like the gray under.
It's on fire right now.
Yep, I like the gray under.
Yeah, Chamuco's on fire, man. This guy's got some good stuff. Ephra is the man.
Mm-hmm. Then we got some assorted stuff. So we got New York Liberty. We got Angels pink under. Alternates Oakland. We got the Braves loser patch. Shout out to the Blue Jays. And then the All-Star game patch. Another Angels Navy, but this time with a gray bottom. Pierre, you have any thoughts on these?
I Yankees, I'm all set. I love the Statue of Liberty. I hate that hat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting stompered out, if you know what I mean, by the Oakland Athletics.
Too much elephant.
I loved it. It was a novelty at first, and now I'm seeing them everywhere. So I'm like getting a little tired of it. But the Angels caps. Funny story. This is when you know you have too many hats. I bought that hat a second time, the All-Star game one. So I'm like, oh shit, like I can't believe I did that. But listen, I'm a fan of all these caps. You know, except for the Yankees one, and I'm done with the Oakland A's elephant logo for a little bit.
I understand the Braves lost a lot more World Series than they won. I'm just tired of seeing the Braves loser patches on the World Series.
Yeah,
well,
I agree with you. I'm a Braves fan, and I'm tired of it as well too. So,
yeah. 92 was a great year. Great year for most, but that was a hat I should have.
On the Oakland hat, I think if that Oakland had a little bit more contrast in that logo, I think it would be better versus the white, all white on that one.
Yeah.
But to your point on the two Angels hats, both are fire.
Yeah. I love them, man. I love them.
And
And the Braves, they're like the Buffalo Bills of the MLB.
Yeah. Actually, you know what?
Done once though.
They did.
You're right. They did get it done once. You're right.
Yeah. I grew up as a Bills fan because I grew up in Virginia, like I mentioned before, and Bruce Smith was from my area.
Bruce Smith was an unbelievable defensive end.
So they used to when the Redskins weren't on TV, they used to show Bills games. So I became a Bills fan. But you're right. I picked two losers between the Braves and the Bills, and there were lots of L's that came through my TV.
My second favorite running back of all time, Thurman Thomas.
Yep.
I loved him.
Then we got a double Battle of the Bay, I guess wine pairing. So got wine and green under. Pierre, you jumped on these ones.
They don't photograph well, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
When I photographed them, I couldn't get the picture right, but the hats in hand look really good. There's the wine with the green under actually looks good.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I like both of those hats. Battle of Bay patches is one of my favorite. Mm-hmm. And I agree. I thought the green was a good touch to it.
Trent, least favorite Oakland Athletic player from those teams. Do you remember that back then or no?
Yeah, I do. I didn't like Seiko. I
hate that guy too.
Yeah, I
remember when the ball bounced off his head?
Yeah.
To be fair, in 88, 89, he was a stud.
It
wasn't until later that you started hating him.
He was a juiced up 40-40 player.
So was everybody else.
He was the innovator behind it though.
Yeah.
And then we had our friend over from Amsterdam, Dionic Danny, dropped this cyborg looking hat. This was an easy pass for me, but I think it sold out instantly anyway. So what do I know? Then it hit a pre-order. So Dionic Danny doing big things.
No, good. Shout out to that guy. I like all his collections he's done. I agree. They're one of my favorite ones, but he definitely has some bangers in the archives for sure.
Yeah. And then our friends at Billion Creation over in San Diego released the San Diego Pride hat. Yeah. June being Pride, so
I wish we'd see some more Pride hats from all over the place. So,
you know what would be cool with this? This would be cool with a Pride undervisor.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That white. I don't know if I would want the white outline there. Kind of takes away from it, but you know, it's a cool idea.
More Pride hats. We
more Pride hats.
See enough.
Yep.
Hat Heaven dropped the New York Mets. It looks like a New York Giant hat, but it is a New York Mets hat. And then the Colt 45s. Jason, did you jump on the 45s?
I jumped on the 45s just because I don't have one in my collection yet, and it's the first one that's come up in a while that I've seen. So yeah, I grabbed that one pretty quick actually.
And I unboxed the Mets one and that Bronx hat today on Instagram.
Yeah, speaking of the Bronx hat, this Bronx hat, very, very cool looking, kind of postcard type style. Interesting, they went with the Miami, that Miami Vice kind of colorway, but a really, really nice looking hat. You very rarely see this kind of style. Nicely executed. I've always wondered what a postcard would look like as a hat, and they pulled it off. I mean, flat embroidery, not ideal, but still nice looking hat.
To be honest with you, that side patch, just the BX on the front logo would have been dope as well too.
Yeah, and that Vice font, that Miami Vice font, really.
And Brian might be listening, so I hope. Maybe I'll make one.
Yeah, there it is.
And Heaven with a couple extra. So this is a cool take on the Battle of the Bay. So it's not the actual Battle of the Bay side patch. It's the 1989 World Series side patch, but it looks like the A logo is a little different. Looks a little thicker.
Looks a little thicker, but this one also has the Kelly green under.
Yeah, and then even the apostrophe looks different, and then the New York Big Apple. Interesting hats. Heaven always kind of bringing the heat,
Mixing it up a little bit.
Well, it's interesting because that Oakland A's hat, like I think it was ecapcity had it with the Kelly green under.
Mhm.
It's almost like a race, man, to get these things onto the websites because right afterwards, Hat Heaven had it.
89 World Series, that thing always sells out. Everybody's always looking for it.
Yeah. And then our friends over in Germany in Just Fitteds, they dropped a bunch of Nickelodeon themed hats. So this one's Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah. Pass.
And we had Angry Beavers.
Pass.
Real Monsters. And then
Ren and Stimpy.
Which I learned, I guess, a couple days ago that the creator is a pedophile. So
yeah, so
pass.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about. I didn't fact check the guy, but
I did fact check it, and it's true. But
his last name is Camp, correct?
No, it's some other name. It's all on Wikipedia.
Are you talking about Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
No, that's
the creator.
Incorrect. That's not correct. His son worked for me.
No, it's a different guy. It's not Camp. So
okay.
Yeah, some other guy. But yeah, I'm too old for these. I don't know any of these cartoons. And I didn't have cable growing up, so I never had Nickelodeon, so I don't know.
I can't afford to pay the shipping anyway from Germany. Germany shipping right now is about $55. So then we had the Rose collection. This was a new era cap.com drop. This one was unique because they dropped all teams. Usually you only get the usual suspects, the LA, the New York, the Boston, Houston.
Yeah.
But they went with all teams. So, shout out to them for that. Pierre, what are some of the highlights you see here?
Listen, Oakland Athletics to me looks nice. I think that pink on the green always looks nicer than people expect. I like the Seattle one. I like the LA one. I love too. I mean, they look good, man. And I also think the royal blues with the pink look good.
Looking at all these together, it's nice that they actually used a different pattern on each team. It's not just the same 3 roses.
Oh yeah, true.
There's slight variation between each one. So
yeah,
Minnesota got 4 roses.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's cool. Flat embroidery at the front though, which is interesting. I mean, it would have been hard to get the vine.
Yeah.
Over the.
I showed mine earlier. I showed mine earlier today.
Yeah, you got the tonal logo at the side too. It's a very interesting hat. I think I told TJ to order me the Blue Jay one. I don't know if the order went through though, but cool capsule. Then we got the Eric Emanuel drop. This one I think
really
the
pissed
website.
some people off.
Just say it was fast. It was quick,
and it broke New Era Cap's website.
I mean, he's always doing kind of off the wall stuff when it comes to fitteds. I think he had the wax collection before. Yep. This one is interesting. It's a retro crown, right?
Retro crown. Yep.
And it was like a nylon too.
It's a nylon as well.
That's what I thought somebody said. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're correct.
Yeah. He's always doing some cool stuff. I mean, if he would have went plain Jane with the hats, I would have scooped them up as much as I could.
But that Pirates one would have been killer as regular 59.50.
Yeah.
Well, I picked some up.
Yeah, we carried. We actually his very first collection. We carried it. It was that wax one. We had it in lids.
Nice.
And I think it was slept on before he had it. He had the name that he has now. But also the fit, you would have to size up as well too because
I did. I went up
very stiff.
And even on this, I sized up. I went to 7. I'm a 7 1/4. I went 7 3/8 on this.
The low pros, you almost want to, just because the way the crown sits and
no, you have to go up a size.
Yeah. You got to. Yeah, that low profile on both the retro and the low pro you got to go up because it just doesn't sit as like a high crown does. I did like the shorts though. I thought the shorts were dope. I thought the shorts were real dope.
A lot of people were talking about how awesome
Listen,
the shorts were. So.
You said it broke New Era. It just about broke my spirit trying to get something off of there. It was the worst nightmare trying to buy stuff off the site at this time. I was like, I was losing my shit. I'm like, how is this possible?
Yeah, you couldn't.
You couldn't.
Well, I got I ended up landing the Red Sox, the Marlins, and then I got myself Pittsburgh. I'm in the Caps, and I got a Pittsburgh. I secured a Pittsburgh for a friend.
Oh, nice.
Solid.
No Toronto, so that was the choice was made for me. Yeah.
Well, the price almost made me not want to buy it.
Hundreds dropped the side atom bomb. So this colorway they've never done, from what I understand. So they've done black, white, orange, so black, white, yellow, and red and blue before. The burgundy never dropped. I think it was supposed to be a midnight launch, but they ended up dropping it early. A lot of people pissed off about that, but
I had it posted early.
Yeah, I got scared because when I went on their website, it actually converted to Canadian. So when they gave me the price, it was like 93 US. I was like, holy shit. Sat in my cart, I thought about it. I was like, whatever, YOLO, hit thing. And then it was actually 93 Canadian, which is a little bit better, but I mean, not much, but you know.
Yeah. This and everyone calm down out there. I saw people on social networking sites saying, when's mine going to ship? Where is it? Like, it hasn't shipped yet. They're still working on it.
For the hundreds, yeah, they said July. If you read the fine print, it says this stuff ships end of July.
Right.
And then Noble North did a restock, but in a different colorway. This is their badge series, I believe. So it looks like a military type badge, but
that's a dope badge right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I like that green under on the navy too.
I think the fourth colorway he's done in this one.
Yeah, like he did a black and gold, I think, like a black and white, a black and silver. So if Ryan's doing it, it's done proper.
Yeah.
And then this is, I think, the fourth colorway of his Blue Jay feather. This one pretty much, I didn't check, but I'm assuming a lot of them are sold out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan at Noble North. And the fourth quarter shop with their weekly trying to hurt us with the pronunciation. Pierre, you want to try this?
Mayos de Navajoa.
There you go.
Gotta be close.
Element red.
Solid.
Yeah. So they've been doing some like element type hats for the Mexican Baseball League. So
really slow week as by the fourth quarter standards go, but this is pretty kick-ass logo. I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
That brings a question for me, Trent. Why can't we get more Mexican League hats at our lids?
That's a great question. We put them mostly in the San Diego area because it's closer to the border.
Yeah.
But we actually rolled out quite a bit at one point, and then obviously not having the website to liquidate them kind of shut that process. But we went that direction at one point. But they got some really great logos for sure.
Yeah. So it's not a licensing issue that
no. Actually, it comes out of New Era. It comes out of Mexico office out of New Era, and then it goes to the Buffalo office, and then it's up for grabs at that. We have to ask permission from the Mexico office, but I mean, when we inquire about it, we can do them for sure.
Yeah, we got some cool ones. Who got us ours, Leon? Was it Chris K? Someone got us a bunch. I have a bunch.
No, it was Josh Perez in Houston. He grabbed a bunch of the one. And then TJ obviously. But Lids sells Mexican hats. I've grabbed a bunch.
Yeah, we had them. I shouldn't say just in the San Diego, down in the Texas border as well too.
But predominantly in San Diego is the closest point, right? I mean,
we did some Tijuanas down there, and they actually crushed. They actually do really well. But mostly some of the fall baseball, some of the Mexican leagues. You know, we got to use a request from those particular New Era offices to get those rights, but they're really easy to work with.
Cool.
Yeah. So these ones are the new Clink Room designs. They hit pre-order last Friday. They'll be up for about 3 weeks. So you got the card sharks, the Medusa. They changed the colorway, the Bat Genie Boy thing, and then the weird double hot dog. I think the best of the bunch got to be the card sharks. They changed the color of the spade. I think it originally was a darker black, but the red kind of touch really brings out the front logo. All solid stuff.
Yeah, I'd go Card Sharks #1, Medusa #2, Bat Genie #3, and then I don't know, those red hot dog spatula thing.
I like how it forms an H. Don't know if I'd actually wear it though, but the other three are really nice.
Yeah. Who's got tongs that small anyway? But
That's a great question, Leon.
Yeah. I sent him an email. I told him I appreciate what he was doing. I think it's a great idea, by the way.
So you like the hot dog one?
No. I like the clink room idea. I like the clink room.
Oh, okay. I thought
I like the clink room.
You wanted the spatula hat.
No. I like his concept.
Or, I'm sorry, tongs hat. Tongs.
Yeah.
Tongs. Yeah, I'm just realizing that I missed a slide in my.
Hey, Leon, you're a fan of the Thong Song by Cisco. You think you can remix it for us?
I mean, who isn't?
The Thong Song? I think I'm pretty sure I have that album right there, over there in my CD collection. Cisco. I like Cisco. But there was also another hat from Clink Room. It's the collection one. It's the one with the nine tails. Yeah. I did forget that. So.
Not the white one this time. It's the red hat, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's the red hat. Yeah, it's the same guy that did. I think he did the illustration for the New Yorker with the George Floyd stuff. But these two hats are hats from our friend Kevin at Team Collective. These are based off of the Mighty Ducks. So we got the I forget the city. So the Waves that's the
Minnehaha Waves. That's the minor league team that Gordon Bombay played for.
When he got injured, and then the other one was the Hawks. That's where Banks came from, right?
That's where Banks came from, and that's where Gordon played for as a kid.
Oh, okay, and he had the same coach, and the coach was like a dick. Yeah.
And then the
That's
Lions
impressive.
game.
That is very, very impressive, by the way.
Mighty Ducks, man.
I'm a big Mighty Ducks fan.
That's huge. That's awesome.
I can tell, man. I can tell.
Pierre's a big Ducks fan. He doesn't like the Mighty Ducks, but
I don't like the Disney-fied stuff, man.
I love it. I pre-ordered mine. I love these hats.
No, I'm not knocking this. I'm just telling you. I'm just not. I'm not a Mighty Ducks.
I absolutely love hats reproduced from movies. I just got my Kakambas a couple weeks ago from Hardball. I'll probably get both of these.
It's just you got to get lucky sometimes with New Era legal. Sometimes you get attention and stuff like that. But let's not get anyone in trouble.
You just got to fool them, right, Leon? You got to fool them.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that one went through. I'm with Leon now. I'm surprised that one got approved. By the way,
they've made it before, so this is actually just a rerun.
Gotcha.
So they fooled them, but Trent, you can't fool New Era, can you? Have you tried?
I tried. I fooled them a couple times.
Yeah, it depends who you get. Sometimes you get.
Maybe that's
sometimes you get some stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get some stuff through. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been in the game long enough. I fooled them a couple times, but
nice.
I'm hoping an hour and 20 minutes in the show that nobody really heard that. By the way, so
we probably wore Trent. We wore them down, man. We wore them down. We're fucking done.
Yeah, they got fooled. They got fooled sometimes.
Yeah. I may be in the minority here, but I like these I like these hats.
Yeah, I like some of them. The visor with the stars and stripes is a little much.
Yeah.
But other than that, I like all of them.
Who dropped this one?
This is USA Baseball.
Direct. Yeah. USA Baseball did a direct drop, so they sell a couple of hats.
I'm not a big fan of the tonal white flag.
No?
Yeah.
I bought these, Trent, so I'm gonna get to see them in hand. I'll probably unbox them just to kind of show them in hand, because you never know what these are gonna look like, right? I mean,
what was retail on these?
I think they were 40.
Like $40.
40 or 42.
That's a steal. I can tell you right now, that's a lot of embroidery on all those hats.
I know. I have a box right here of 3. I have 3 USA Baseball hats. I'm not opening them until I get this second box in.
Yep.
Yeah, these all scream like minimum 144 runs, because there's the crazy details with the sandwich brim and the extra embroidery. Yeah.
They got some fire over there at USA Baseball. Go check them out.
They had the 84 McGuire rookie card one. That one was really cool. The when he played for the Olympic team, and
that's on his 1985 Topps rookie card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I have downstairs somewhere.
And then the other guy from the USA Baseball team that is synonymous with USA Baseball for me is Jim Abbott. Remember the one-armed pitcher?
Yeah. Yep.
Jim Abbott in the '88 Topps. I think it was Topps traded set. I remember all this from baseball cards when I was a kid.
Right. And then we got some news from the Hoon Express. So Hoon's our buddy over in South Korea. He sends us a weekly email, kind of keeping us abreast to what's being released in Japan, Korea, New Era Asia in general. So
there's a lot of shit going on those hats, man.
Yeah, this is a lot of like weird
smorgasbord of embroidery.
Dude, I'm not a patch guy at all, but I really like these hats. I don't know if it's the history of the dollar or what it is, but
that's crazy. There's no neon pink on these things, so
I know it's black and white. And, I mean, this screams everything opposite of what I like in a hat, but I really like these.
I just think it's a $67 hat, but it's the history of the dollar bill. I think that's the crazy thing about it. But there's a lot going on. I tell you what, that is a well thought out hat right there. Trust me.
Yeah. A lot of Illuminati signs. A lot of
for sure.
Maybe that's what's drawing me to it too. I don't know, but
I'll tell you what, man. I appreciate the Hoon Express sharing this with us, but I'm not drawn to this hat in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, Hoon told me when he sent me this email, he's like, "Yo, this week's not that good." So,
well, this proves it.
Right, we had another one. So
the front
is completely blank, and then we got a big old signature on the side, and then New Era stuff. Originators of the True Fitted. I do like that that kind of motto, but it is hilarious when they use that motto and they put it on a snapback. But this time they didn't do it. So that was pretty cool.
I think I'd really like this if they left off the NY and then New Era on the left side and just had the originators of the True Fitted on the right side, and that was it on the hat.
What about the front blank?
Too? I like the blank.
You like the blank?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You know what? You know what make this hat perfect? And I think Jason will attest to this. It needs a white panel front, and it needs some bright ass colors for the embroidery.
You're so damn right, Pierre.
I know you. I think your nickname is Mead for Speed now, right? We've dubbed that, but I think it's Mead for Neon. Like just the need for neon. That's like your thing.
This is black and silver tonight.
I know you went ultra conservative today.
Yeah.
Right. And then this one's a really, really scaled back design. It just says Tokyo on it. There's nothing else on it.
I can get that down for $12.
Yeah. we can make that at a Lids custom
lid, right?
Yeah, you could. You definitely could.
You literally could. You could make that at Lids for $12.
You literally could.
Yeah.
You literally could.
You could probably make it bigger too. And then on Saturday we're going to be joined by Evan from Nice One Studios. He does the design work for East Van Baseball League. It's a wooden bat league in BC. Jay, you want to tell us who they are?
Yeah, it's East Van Baseball is like a very recreational adult wood bat league, but they do a lot on social media. They take themselves seriously. They have a website that has standings. They broadcast all their games on Facebook Live, but Evan does all of the designs for all their teams, and he does some awesome, like really good looking on-field hats for I think there's 12 or 13 teams in the league now. I got several of these hats. I'm pretty excited to talk to him.
Yeah. No, I've seen the designs. There's some really cool stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that brings us.
We broke a record for longest show that we've done so far.
Yeah. Well, people are still here.
That wasn't too bad. I didn't, even though there were no Lids hats in there, I did pretty good, I thought.
Yeah. You have any hives or anything? Is there any medical conditions you should know about?
I'm good.
Nice, man.
All right.
Listen, I gotta say, this was a good time. I had a really good time.
Yeah, I appreciate it for having me for sure.
Yeah, and Trent, thanks for spending time with us. Thanks for taking us through all the different facets of what you do and your views on the hat game. I really love the conversation, and I hope to have you on again.
Yeah. If you guys, when you start doing repeat guests, count me in for sure. I'd love to walk you guys through, some of the things that we've been working on, and that'd be fun, man, for sure. I appreciate it for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Leon, anything else before we wrap up the show today?
No, I guess we'll just give everyone a brief breakdown of what's happening. So tomorrow there's going to be a cruiserweight battle.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of
doubleheader, cruiserweight battle and a middleweight battle.
Okay. And I think
Trent's like, what the fuck is that?
Jay, do you want to explain what the cat battle is real quick?
So
I've seen the cat battle.
Oh, you have? Oh, okay. All right, just checking in. Trent's over there like, what the hell are these two assholes?
No, I was gonna comment to Leon. I've always had trouble sending you hats because I can't send across the border. So I need to give you need to give me a US address.
I have so many I can give you.
Just use mine, Trent.
You could just write one down and
right.
somehow.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out when I was gonna say that to you, because I know I want.
We'll keep you on for a minute afterwards, Trent. But you can just send his stuff to me. I've got a box. He's got a big ass head, man. I got to get special boxes for the hats I send to him.
All right, cool. I got you. I will send you extras of the 100th. Just to make sure you get a couple of those. But that was what I was pondering. I do know about the battle, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that was more of a contemplative look that you had about how you were going to do something.
The full cup of tequila is kicked in. That's what happened.
I got it. Well, I like this version of you, Trent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got the doubleheader. We got the doubleheader, Jason, right?
Doubleheader.
Doubleheader.
Special guest judge Marin. She's going to join us again. And Mead for Speed's making his WFF debut. So
perfect. And then Friday we have Views After Dark. So
this is gonna be the best thing you guys have ever seen.
So
we're basically just gonna have a Zoom room and we're just gonna all talk shit.
Yeah. So that'll be on FHS exclusively. DM us for the invite, but basically it's gonna be an open invite. We can house up to 100 people. We're probably not gonna have 100 people, but we'll keep it to a steady number, maybe 10 at a time. Yeah. And you can come on and say your piece. So
Trent, if there's a time you want to jump on, you want to bring your bottle of tequila, jump on with us on a Friday night, man.
And we won't post it anywhere, and then we'll make sure no one can record it. But it'll be an open invite for whoever wants to come on. And
if you guys need a fourth member of the show, count me in.
Oh man, that Zoom room can have up to 30 or
30. I was talking about
you have 100.
I'm talking about the views. I like to join this now.
Oh man, you're on our list man. I say this to other folks too, and I'm gonna tell you. Remember Tribe Called Quest?
Yep.
It was Q-Tip, right?
Yep.
Who else?
It was Fife.
Ali Shaheed Muhammad.
Yep.
And sometimes who? Jerobi. Jerobi. Yep. You're going to be our Jerobi.
Count me in. I'm in. I would like to be Q-Tip, but I can't do it. But
no, Leon's Q-Tip. I'm Fife Dog. Even though Fife Dog is passed on, I'm Fife Dog. Jason's Ali Shaheed Muhammad, and you are Jerobi.
Okay.
Pierre's
talking. Count me in. Count me in.
No idea what's going on.
Yeah, and Jason Mead, because we're not talking about. He knows about Eazy-E, but he has no fucking idea of who A Tribe Called Quest is.
I've heard the name.
I want you to listen, Jason. When we get off, I want you to pull up the song "Bonita Applebum," and that's the song.
Just listen to Midnight Marauder.
Midnight
Marauder. Listen to the whole thing.
Thank you, Trent. Thank you. I wore that tape out 6 times. My parents bought that for me one year for Christmas, and I wore that tape out like multiple times. I played it so much.
The whole thing.
For you young guys out there, cassette tapes.
I've had it. Pierre, how old are you?
I'm 42.
Okay.
I know I look spry and young, but I'm 42.
Yeah. I'll be 40 in October, so I'm with you.
We're both old men.
Yep.
Mead's 54.
Pretty close.
All right, guys. So catch us Saturday. So we'll be on. We got today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. So hopefully you don't get sick of us. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, share, do all that good stuff. But thanks for joining. If you're watching us live, we appreciate it. If you guys are watching us in the future, you know what's up from the past. But stay fitted, and we'll catch you guys soon.